Welcome to the Matt Wilkie podcast. So, went to part 3. I got cut off at the last bit. But yeah, these people exist in the call center industry. This is why I try to inform people, like everything else I do. It's about information. But the troll continues to write, and he just makes it up. The joke with this is, he'd actually went and contacted Bashir, and then he turned on him. He contacted 724 Care, or allegedly did, and then they put this, oh yeah, there was like this, and this story, and they, blah, blah, blah. Because they had to make something up. There was something strange with 724 Care. Because what he did is he made out that I'd said they'd gone bankrupt, or blah, blah. I had never said that about, I was actually talking about Abbott Roof. But obviously, even then, just said, oh, Matt said this, Matt said that. Because that's what he does. He plays people off each other. I've never actually engaged with 724 Care. I've never had to. I've spoken to Philip Patrick. Philip Patrick, a friend of mine, worked at 724 Care. But for a short period of time, because he didn't like working in the call center. But this is the reality here. There is nothing stolen. There was nothing to steal. There was no product. There was no physical item. The theft come from the Pakistani guy stealing from the call centers. But even being even, he just turned the whole thing around into complete lies. Now, moving forward, the recent stuff he's been writing, because obviously he's run out of material, because I'm not in the Philippines. He's wrote that I've been a security guard in the Middle East. If you've been to the Middle East, you will know that a security guard normally comes from Pakistan or India, because they're paid a very, very low rate. I know some of the guys that were working for me before only cost like $2 to $3 a day. That's the sort of level of pay you're talking. It's silly money. So why would I be in the Middle East doing that job? He just writes complete nonsense. Now, what's the positive stuff I do that I don't really talk about? Let's just say when Philip Patrick got robbed by his wife, I took him out to the Middle East and sorted his life out. Not literally, I just got him some work to get him kick-started again, so he can move forward. There's other things I've done for him, but he's a friend. But the whole point is, when he was needed some help, I got him a job, and he came out and worked with us doing some surveys in the Middle East. I also had another friend in the US that was struggling at the time, hadn't been able to pay his rent for 3 months. I brought him out to the Middle East as well, and he got himself kick-started again to move forward. That's the sort of stuff I do. If people are capable and can do the job, I will give them the job. Now, the sort of stuff even does is very, very strange. A lot of it is actually backfired on him. For example, stealing photos of my children in France and then posting, oh, he's not been to France, he's not this, blah, blah, blah. Yet, if you browse my YouTube channel, you will find video footage of us at the Eiffel Tower, the Arc de Triomphe. And there's a lot of photos and stuff I haven't shared relating to family life, because this troll interferes with things, and I don't trust him. There's been rumours relating to his time on Bohol relating to child abuse. I can't confirm or deny them, because I do not know the ins and outs of this. That's why I don't generally talk about that sort of stuff. But I do not trust these sorts of weirdos around information relating to my children. So that's why that stuff's not so readily available. Because there is a lot of weirdos out on the internet, and he is certainly one of them. But he posted, never been to France, never done this. Then it was like, I never been to Spain. I've been sat here 2 years now. It's not hard to go through and see it is just utter rubbish that he writes. Because everything is contradictory to my real life. One of the weirdest ones was actually accusing me of running some sort of prostitution service with transsexuals working at the call centre. I do wonder what he actually gets up to in his spare time. Because, do I employ gay people? I employ anybody that can do the job. It's as simple as that. I do not see colour, I do not see race, I do not see genders when I employ people. I see people and I see a task. In the same way, I do not hold a lot of the hang-ups that some people have relating to other groups. I don't split people into groups, I just see people. It's as simple as that. It's not divisions. There's no point in having divisions. And the other thing is, I do find that the transgender guys, or girls with a U, are very, very good sales agents. Because they sort of sit on the male and the female side, they're very, very good at selling to either male or female. Fantastic for a call centre. So, that employing the people from the gay community become a call centre for adult services, according to this even guy. He is just nuts. Now, the next thing is you're going to ask is probably, why don't I take legal action against him? You will find that his sites have been deleted from WordPress, they've been deleted from blog.com, they've been deleted from blogger.com, his hosting was removed from HostGator.com. He had to move his sites to the Netherlands, and I've talked to the guy that actually runs the sites, the servers he's sat on, and there's all sorts of weird sites in there, but at the same time, we're pro freedom of speech rubbish. It's not freedom of speech, it is made up rubbish. It's very, very difficult to remove it from the web, because Google will go freedom of speech, but it's very selective on its own stuff. So it will quite happily have you abused like no tomorrow on the internet, but then if you did something that Google didn't like, it probably wouldn't put it through its own engines. Welcome to the internet. It's very, very hard to remove people from the internet, even with the right information. Tim Potter actually took a court notice in the US, and Google recognised it to a point. But now that Evans took his sites to this place in Netherlands, it's much, much difficult to have it removed. Myself, I filed a case against him in the UK. I've also created one in the US, and I also have done one in the Philippines. There's also been other people do the same. He also has cases raised in Australia and other locations relating to defamation of character, blah, blah, blah. Because although he has very little impact on people's lives, he likes to think he's got a bigger impact than he does. But it's like this. I'm doing this audio thing because I haven't done anything relating to him for I don't know how long, because he's insignificant. But somebody brought it up this evening, so I'm just tying all the bits together. So that you can actually turn around and go, okay. And I would say go and have a look at it, because the point with it, you'll see the guy is an utter idiot. He's a nutcase. But it's very, very hard to have him removed from the web. So that's the reality of it. And if you want to talk to James Musselwhite, or you want to talk to Christopher Bennett, or you want to talk to anybody else who's abused, they are all accessible. Because one thing I did which is one of the reasons what the post personally bugs the most, is I dismantled his whole sex power wall of shame by showing that he was a liar. And he'd been making things up because I had contacted all the people and they actually brought forward their reason behind everything. That's why he disliked it. He disliked the fact that I put people in touch with each other so they could actually turn around and go, oh, he's writing about you because you didn't like him on the forum. Or he's writing about you because he's... And people suddenly realise that everybody's in the same boat. Because this guy is a troll. And that's when people started working and collaborating together to actually dismantle the stuff he'd been doing. Because it's much easier as a group to actually deal with this stuff, but it's still near impossible to get off the web. Does it really bother me? No. I'm not really bothered about what people write about me, to be honest. Somebody mentioned about Peter Van der Veer going on about his rants, but I don't actually follow his stuff. I know he's getting very sick, because I said to my wife, I only go to his YouTube channel. I don't actually watch his videos, but I'm looking at him deteriorate, just to see, like, as he sorted himself out. I would actually say that Peter Van der Veer, with his weight loss issue, needs to see if he's got something like an amoeba or something else inside him from food poisoning. Because, quite simply, I've seen that happen to 2 other people so far. But anyway, if somebody actually watches this to the end, you'll actually be able to turn around and tell him to go and see a doctor and get checked for an amoeba. But anyway, the realities here are the guy is messed up in the head. And I say that as the reality is true, and it seems that it all stemmed from when he first had issues with the Rotary Club back in 2005 or whenever it was, where the money had been disappearing, yet he was the manager of the project, and he was blaming other people. And did he steal the money? Well, he said he left the Philippines due to health reasons, and it was around the same time, and then he started all this ranting and crazy stuff. So I would question, was it the case that somebody filed a case? Because the problem you get with things like the Rotary Club and stuff, they will not give you all the information. They do not want any bad publicity because it affects them getting money. So what they do is they simply just keep quiet about things. So even trying to get the information, which I have tried before, and so has other people, they won't actually tell you anything. Yeah, strange character. One of the funniest things, but very odd, was he was in Bohol, and he befriended this guy that was there with his girlfriend, and they were together for 2 weeks, because I think he was showing him around and whatever. And then he waited until he'd gone back to France, this Evan character, and then slated him on the internet. That's how cowardice he is. He wouldn't even confront the guy that he's with issues he didn't like about him, face to face. He waited 2 weeks until he wasn't in the Philippines anymore. How sad is that? So, yeah, feel free to ask any questions, because quite simply, I've got nothing to hide, never have done, never needed to. My stuff from the Philippines goes back to 2007. It's all written on the web. People such as Bob Ward, Paul Whiteway, who else? Well, let's just put it this way. It's not hard to find people that have actually known me in person, and you could ask them anything you like. Alright, thanks for listening. Apologies it's so long, but it's the easiest way to explain it.